Can you tell me a bit about how you got here? You've said a little bit, but a little bit more about the process of writing it.
Yeah, I didn't really have a process. I wrote bits on bits of paper that were all over the place. And then when it started to take shape as a narrative, I had to then find all those bits of paper. And some of it was written on bits of paper and some of it was written on the computer. So I had to then find all the bits and put them together like a jigsaw. So I didn't, and you hear of writers who follow a process and, who plot it all out at the beginning and know what's going to happen. I wasn't like that at all. I had no idea what was going to happen, really. So and the characters sort of take it along themselves anyway.
Yeah. So were you pleasantly surprised with what turned out? You enjoyed what you found at the end, did you? Did you enjoy reading it?
It's funny because sometimes you write something and you put it away for a while and then you sort of take it out again and then you read it and you think, and you can't even remember writing it and it really surprises you. And I think that's why, as a writer, you need to write and then put what you've written to one side for some time and then look at it again. Because the bits that you thought were good when you wrote them may be rubbish, and the bits that you thought were rubbish may actually be okay. So that's all part of the process as well. And when I did the MA at Nottingham Trent University, a really important part of that was getting critiques from other people, other students, and having your work sort of looked at and critiqued, because you can then improve.
Yeah, that's sort of comforting to hear, isn't it? That she started out not knowing where she was going. Some of us never even start out. In the past week, you've been quite a media star, haven't you? You've been interviewed by quite a few people, and I wonder what your thoughts are on that, on whether writers now have to promote themselves more, now that publishers' budgets are smaller and there's lots of books coming out. It's quite important to be involved in social media and be much more aware of your public, or make your public much more aware of you. How have you found that? Have you enjoyed the last week, really?
I'm lucky in that my day job involves pushing other people in front of the media. So I've got those media contacts locally, but it felt a bit different doing it myself. Me being the one in front of the cameras and in front of the microphones. Yeah, but I think, as you say, it's increasingly important for writers to publicise themselves, market themselves, especially on social media, etc. Yeah.
Okay.
But I have enjoyed doing those interviews, especially the one with Mark Dennison.
I was hoping you'd say, especially the one with you, Sheelagh. Maybe she'll say that afterwards. 2 more questions. I'm not very good with microphones, am I? 2 more questions. One of them is about the cover. I saw it in an earlier version, and I said I thought it was great. And then I saw it in this version, and I said I thought it was great. And I think this is clearer and better. How much say did you have in the design of the cover, and do you think it fits the work?
Because my publisher is quite a small independent publisher, you get a lot of say in everything. It's very much a two-way process. And I was asked early on for my ideas for the cover, so I came up with some ideas. And the idea of a girl looking out to sea was one of the things I came up with. And then I got to look at the design and say what I thought about it. And the designer did several different versions, and so I was able to choose one. But I really, really like what we've arrived at. Yeah, I mean, I know people who've been published by bigger publishers sometimes don't get any say in what the cover design looks like at all. They don't even see it and don't necessarily like it. So I feel quite privileged that I've had, a much more personal relationship with my publisher. So I've had a lot of say in things like that.
And now for the last question, so get ready with yours. When I was reading this, I really wasn't going to tell everybody what happened, but I was trying to think of a way of characterising it without giving too much away. And one of the things I came up with was that it was kind of like a dark fairy tale, because some of it, like the bit you read this afternoon, the first bit, is very, very real, and the characters are very, very real, but not everything that happens is very, very real, and that works. But do you want to say anything about that, about the sort of the darkness, and there is humour in it too, isn't there? There's quite a lot of humour, which is perhaps surprising given the subject, but and this doesn't sound like a question at all now, does it? And it's a very fast-moving book.
I like that idea of it being a dark fairy tale. I've not really thought about that before. I mean, it's set in the real world, and particularly at the start, it's a pretty gritty, urban setting, and it moves to a kind of more mystical, rural, coastal setting. But there are magical elements in it. And I think one thing the publisher said that they liked about it was the fact that, although it deals with some dark subject matter, it has, ultimately it's a redemptive tale, that there's a kind of uplifting feel to it. And I think there's this trend that's popular at the moment called uplift, which is uplifting literary fiction, where it deals with kind of real issues, etc. But it leaves you actually feeling uplifted, hopefully. So I like to think that the book fits in that category.
Right. Can I ask you all a